Hello, CinSanity, and welcome to the first episode of this season's podcast. Today we got Graham Ashcraft on. We're going to talk about high hopes with Terry Francona and some new cast members in town. We're going to talk about Graham's move to the bullpen and the torpedo bats. We've got all that and more. So what do you say we get this thing started?
I just sold out to the perfect condition. Coming alive. Heat of the night. Now is the time. Don't try to hide. 'Cause I'm gonna hold you like an animal.
All right, well, if we're starting off the season, first and foremost, congratulations on the new addition to the family, which I was fortunate enough to meet the young lady in Arizona, Sophia James. How has that changed things for you?
I mean, it makes going home after the games a lot better, whether it's a win or a loss. You know, I mean, because you get home, you can't carry it over to the house, especially when you got a young one at the house. So getting to go home and see her smiling, giggling, or fussy, either way, it's great. Just because you get to see the little one and spend some time with her, just because we're gone so much during the day, you know.
Well, it puts things in perspective, too. I mean, like
yeah.
any job, it's like life's not all about work, man. That ain't the most important thing.
You know, it's like what I tell my team members when they get all stressed out. We have not lost a life on the table yet.
Exactly.
We're not saving lives. Just relax.
Yeah.
So, new manager, new sheriff in town, so to speak. I guess how has that changed the dynamics?
I mean, it's definitely a different style of ball. I mean, I feel like it's kind of going back to how you're supposed to play the game, you know? I mean, and it's early. We've had some stuff kind of not go our way, but then again, we're 7 games into the season right now, you know? I mean, all we can ask for is guys go out there and throw strikes and guys go out there and hit the ball hard. And, I mean, I feel like we've been hitting the ball hard. It's just right at guys. It's kind of like last year, you know? We just kind of some unfortunate stuff is happening right now, and we just got to get through it.
150-something games left, man. Get it out of the way now.
Oh, yeah. It's a long season for a reason.
Oh, look at you, Dr. Seuss. Apparently you've been reading to Sophia.
Nice.
So what's it like so you got Tito, but you also have a couple new members added to the cast like Gavin Lux and Trevino. What's it like having those guys on? Obviously, Lux went through the World Series last year. Trevino's been with the Yankees. Do they bring any additions or positives to the clubhouse that weren't necessarily, I'm not going to say there before, but as prominent?
I mean, they're just some great guys, you know. I mean, you always wonder how it's going to be when guys come from organizations like the ones that they were in. And so when you have that ability to come somewhere and kind of make a big impact as a teammate, and that's what kind of speaks volume, at least to me. And those guys came in, and they are great team guys. I mean, they're a joy to have around the clubhouse. They kind of there's just those guys that bring the best out of the people they play with. And, I mean, it's great to have them in the organization. I mean, I think they bring a lot of knowledge, and they're just great guys. So it helps. I mean, that helps a lot.
Well, with that being said, it seems like even prior to this year, you guys in the Reds clubhouse have been a pretty tight-knit group. Is that the case with most clubs, or is there something going on with the culture there? I don't know if it's a lot of you guys are younger guys or what, but you get what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's hard to say because I haven't been in other clubhouses and stuff like that. I mean, just from the stuff that I've heard, the guys enjoy our clubhouse a little bit more than others. They say it feels more like it's a close-knit like family, like we're in it together, and like it's not just at the field that we're going to be getting together. We're going to hang out away from the field. We're going to go get team dinners. We're going to go eat breakfast together. Like we all of us are always doing something, whether it's with one other guy or 10 other guys.
So it sounds like they fit in pretty well. Does it help that they're still in the prime of their career and not close to finishing the back nine?
You know, I think either way. I mean, I think either way they would be great additions. I mean, I just think it's just the type of guys they are, the type of players that they are. I mean, you know, they've been a part of some teams that have done some great things, and they know that, and they know the way people look at that. And so I think the way that they've handled themselves coming over here and kind of taking in the culture that has kind of established itself in the Reds organization. I mean, I think they've done a great job coming here and just kind of taking it in and kind of making it their own and kind of adding bits and pieces what they see that could help us in the long run. Because I mean, like we all know, they've been on teams that have gone in the playoffs, gone deep into the playoffs, won World Series, and so it's having guys like that's huge because they know what it takes and they know how to get there. And so you kind of have that on the backside to be like, all right, like, let's just keep going.
Okay, well, speaking of team dynamics, what I don't know if you want to call them traditions or jobs. There we go, jobs. What jobs this year do you guys have for any rookies that come up or the youngest guys on the club? Anything fun or interesting?
I mean, just typical rookie stuff. One of them's going to be the beer carrier, and then one to carry the speaker. And sometimes it can be a speaker that's not heavy. Sometimes it can be a speaker that you're going to be fighting with getting up flight of stairs. So it's nothing too crazy, but it's just a typical rookie stuff.
Since he brought up rookies, I got a question. I believe this is your third year up. Is that correct?
This will be my fourth season going into.
Okay, so you came up about the same time as Green and Lodolo, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I think Stevenson was about that time or a year or two earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You added Lux, Hayes, Espinal, a couple other guys, or Trevino, I'm sorry, in the offseason. I still hear this is a young team. All right, you're in year 4. These guys are in year 4. When are you no longer a young team?
He won't let this one go, dude.
I mean, I can't tell you. I mean, I don't know, when do they consider us not being young guys anymore, you know? I mean,
anyone that's 30 or older considers a 20-something-year-old young.
Not in professional sports.
I mean, I think it's just kind of based on like the average age, you know? I mean, we got guys going from 22 years old all the way up to 30. I mean, we got a guy that could potentially be up with us this year that's 34. I mean, you know, it's just a big variety of ages, so it's like I mean, that's a hard question to answer. I mean, I don't really know how to justify it just because it's, I mean, I don't know.
Right. I'm just always curious about that because for 4 years now I've heard that.
And it's going to irritate you until you stop hearing it. So
It is. Year 1 and 2, I got it.
yeah,
I mean, we're about close to everybody that's been part of the young teams after this year is going to be in arbitration. So
Maybe that's the Mendoza line.
maybe,
Arbitration. I don't know.
or maybe it's still free agency. I don't know.
Mm.
he knows he's supposed to show up and pitch.
Speaking of which, you were a starter. You've transitioned to the pen. I would assume that, you know, in listening to you last year in your regiment, because you pitched every 5th day and then you had certain other things you did day 1 through 4, you're in the dugout. Now you're out with a different group of guys in the pen every day. You have to be ready to pitch every day. You might pitch 3 days in a row. You might not pitch for a week. I guess physically, how does that change for you? And mentally, I have to believe that the mental aspect is also different.
Yeah, I mean, from the physical side, I mean, you have to kind of manage it a lot more. You have to pay attention to how much you're throwing before games. Like, say it's like we'll use this past 5 days. I mean, I didn't throw until the fifth day after my first outing out of the pen. So it was typical day one, treat it like a light day because you never know. I mean, I knew I wasn't going to be going in after my first bullpen outing. I knew I was down that next day, but I wanted to treat it like, okay, like, hey, let's treat it like a light day, like I would be pitching today. And so treated it, went out, played light catch, did what I needed to, didn't get on the mound. And then just because that would be typically like, all right, say it's my first back-to-back. If I went in the game today, when I go out and play catch, I'm going to have a light throw day, like make 30 throws, enough to get loose, and then I'm going to shut it down. Don't get on the mound, save the bullets for the game. But so since I did that after my first outing, then it was like, all right, day two, I'm going to play some catch. I'm going to go till I'm getting some good umph behind it. I'm going to spin some sliders, throw some sinkers or change-ups. I call them sinkers because change-ups aren't 90 plus, so it's technically a sinker. And so I'd go do that, go touch the mound for 5 to 8 pitches, and then shut it down, get some conditioning in, and then the next day, don't know if I'm getting in, so I'd go play some catch, get to where I can spin some stuff, then stop throwing. And then it's kind of like I kind of treat it as like an every other day. So it's like I'd touch the mound one day, I wouldn't touch the mound the second day just in case if I'm going to go in. If I don't go in that day, I'm going to touch the mound. I might go in that day or I might not. But either way, I'm just going to kind of go every other day to where it's like touch the mound, don't touch the mound because it might be in the game. Okay, didn't get in the game. All right, let's get on the mound just to feel the slope. But there's still a chance I could get in the game that day. So it's just a different. It's a little different, but honestly, I kind of like the way the workload is. I really enjoy the bullpen. I like the adrenaline rush that it gives me. I like the eighth, the back end feeling. I want to experience what the ninth inning feels like because you kind of black out when it gets in those late innings.
Well, when that adrenaline rush hits you, just don't shake any branches.
Branches? He shook the whole tree.
Well, I was thinking about that because that is a whole new meaning to things. As you know, Clayton, I am a big fan of swamp people.
Oh, gosh.
On swamp people, the biggest gators, when they're on the hook, they call them tree shakers. And I thought of that the other day when I was listening to your hunting podcast, and he's talking about shaking that tree. I'm like, I always associated tree shakers to big gators in the swamp, but I guess that puts a different dimension on things.
I ain't got big gators and Sasquatch. I mean, it's a well-kept Sasquatch, but still.
It's a good thing I don't walk barefoot in the woods.
I think you're a little bit too heavy for that. Your feet would be nicked up pretty bad.
Yeah.
Oh, unlike my kids, golly, they run around outside in front of the cabin with their bare feet all the time. They're just like, I'm like, dude, you don't know where you're going to step on.
It's because you're raising
something.
Florida children.
I know.
They're a different breed down there.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the reason why they call it hashtag Florida Man. I mean, we're not talking about my children here, but people raised in Florida can end up nuts.
And often do.
Yeah. Like the dude that stuck out the hurricane on a sailboat. That was wild.
You know that dude was also a felon, right?
Yeah, you got to be a brick shot of a load to achieve both of those feats in life. Stick out a hurricane in a sailboat and be a felon. Brick shot of a load. Or maybe a couple bricks shy of a load. You never know. So let me ask you this. We're talking about you pitching, and we talked about Trevino coming over. Obviously, Stevenson's a great catcher. What do you like in what Trevino, I'm guessing is how it's pronounced, correct?
Yeah.
What do you like in what Trevino brings behind the plate?
I mean, dude, he brings a lot of knowledge. Like the way he goes about like preparing for the games, the way he goes and dives into the scouting of it. I mean, he really puts in his work when it comes to putting in the scouting part. I mean, he's doing homework for 4 or 5 hours the day before. I mean, after the game, he's looking at stuff. And he's also a hitter too, so he's got to do his own homework when it comes to that on what the pitchers, what he wants to see from the guys in the bullpen to be ready to hit and all that. So I mean, he's not only looking at the hitters and seeing what our guys like, what's going to work best for our guys pitching against them, but he's also got to go and see what's he's going to do against their arms. And so, I mean, the study etiquette that he has behind it for the hitters and for the pitchers. I mean, it's pretty crazy. And so, I mean, his work ethic with it all, I mean, it's something cool to see. I mean, I feel like there's a lot to learn from him and the way that he, especially being over at the Yankees, and I mean, they have a lot of stuff that we don't have when it comes to those type of things. So just the stuff that he learned from there and turned into his own to kind of bring to our organization, and how he has kind of shown that stuff. I mean, there's a lot to learn from him.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty incredible 1-2 punch when Steve-O gets back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he did a lot of prep in the offseason studying the Reds pitchers, did he not?
Oh yeah, I mean, like for learning our guys to know like what we should throw when and things like that. But I mean, it's just the way he studies the game it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's really not an off season. It sounds like it. You're just not playing every day. Y'all are still working every day.
Yeah.
Well, except for your case when you're hunting.
Got to have some off days.
You work out in the barn.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to get down at lunch one day so we could play catch. That was fun. All right, so next one. Hot topic around the league. Bats. Dad, you want to take it?
And we're not talking the Louisville bats either. Torpedo bats, you have any perspective on that from a pitcher's angle? I mean, you know, you heard a lot about it, particularly with the Yankees and all those home runs, and then, you know, not too much later, they're setting records with strikeouts. So you still have to be able to make contact with whatever bat you're using. But from a pitcher's perspective, does it put any fear in you? Does it change the way you pitch at all? Or is it just another bat and you got to do what you do?
I mean, when you listen to the science behind it, it's kind of cool to hear the thought that was into it. But I mean, you know, it's like they say, it's not the wand, it's the magician. So you still have to be able to put the bat on you still got to be able to swing and hit it on the sweet spot, no matter what. So, I mean, if it makes the sweet spot a little bit bigger, is it going to allow them to have a little bit better mistakes? Yes, but also, it's not changing that much. I mean, it's turning the sweet spot from this to like this. So, I mean, we're talking a baseball width of the difference. It's a lot, yeah. That's a lot when you talk about a mistake, yeah. But at the same time, they still have to hit the barrel. I mean, they have to be able to hit the ball. If they can't hit the ball, doesn't matter how big of a barrel you go up there with, you're not going to hit it. So, I mean, at that point, it is what it is. I mean,
have you picked one up and swung it? Like, is there like a difference in the feel of the swing, like the weight distribution?
So I talked with Trevino about it because Jose, him, and Stanton were the first guys at New York to swing with him last year. And I asked him, I was like, is there a major difference at all? And he goes, dude, he's like, it honestly, it still feels exactly like my bat. He's like, it's shaped a little different. Like, it doesn't really change the feel.
That was my big one question about it, is like how it feels. You know what I mean? But at the bat speed, these guys are swinging a baseball bat. I could see where it really doesn't feel that much different. You're swinging so hard and so fast. I mean, you can change a lot of things a little bit, and it's not going to change the feel of the bat.
And if you think about it too, like say a guy likes an end-loaded bat, you can still shift the weight of that barrel over more towards the end and still have it narrowed down to where it's taking wood off the end and putting it on the barrel. So, I mean, really, they can kind of alter that barrel however they want, but like I said, still got to hit the ball.
Well, they still have to make contact.
Yeah. I mean, they can be swinging that bat all the time, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to throw a cutter up and into a lefty and they're not going to bury it into the ground, you know?
The story of the dude that came up with that design is pretty crazy.
See, I haven't heard any of that stuff yet.
So, like, he was getting his master's or PhD in physics or whatever. He was a career academic, essentially, whether that be student, teacher, whatever. Then he ended up coaching for a couple, like, or being some kind of assistant or consultant for a couple minor league teams, whatever, and I guess was just thinking about it. And they went through a bunch of different iterations of testing that bat before guys were willing to say, yeah, all right, I'll swing it in the game. But, like, he's like someone that he's not someone that played college baseball and baseball was his life. He was like a physicist, essentially, or someone, an educational person, and parlayed that into baseball instead of using baseball the whole time to parlay it into more baseball.
You want to know something that's crazy? The torpedo bat has been around a lot longer than anybody knows.
It just never was prevalent.
You can go look back I think it was either the early 2000s or late 90s. There was a training bat Easton made called the torpedo. It trained you to hit the ball on the sweet spot because it was like a fungo bat. It was a thin handle all the way up, and it went into the barrel of the torpedo bat, but it narrowed off really quick on a triangle. So, I mean, you're literally swinging a stick with this much of a barrel, and that's all you have to hit on it. And if you mishit on that thing, it would vibrate the ever-living crap out of your hands. And so it taught you to hit on the sweet spot because it was the only place that it wouldn't rattle your hand. And so I'd be interested to see if that guy got something from the original make of the torpedo bat and then just kind of thought of like, well, what would happen if we transferred this over to a wood bat and kept it like a normal style bat but just moved the weight on the barrel?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't even remember when he started all this, to be honest with you, but it's not just the last couple of years, I can tell you that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and the metrics of the barrel has to be, 3.02 inches in diameter. Like, it can't be bigger than that or something.
I don't know. So, you would know better than I do.
I mean, there's some rule. I don't know the exact measurements, but there's some rule out there to where the barrel can't go over this certain size. So, I mean, even though the torpedo bats make the barrels look like they're this big, they're really not. I mean, they're still the same size of a baseball bat. Like if you take a normal bat and a torpedo bat and put them both the sweet spots next to each other, they're the exact same size. It's just moved to where the torpedo bat, like where the barrel starts tapering up on a normal bat, the torpedo bat already has the barrel there.
Yeah.
And so that's the only difference. I mean, it's still the same amount of wood, the same measurements all the way through, just a different shape, sweet spot.
Yeah, they just moved it to where guys are making more contact. That's all.
Yeah. And the theory with the end of the bat is instead of guys hitting balls off the end of the bat to be broken bat outs or little flare fly balls, it turns into more mishit foul balls that go straight back because it's a smaller area to hit on the ball.
That might be a bigger advantage than moving the barrel down.
Yeah.
Because that could cut down on your outs big time.
Yeah.
That could.
Like, now that I'm thinking about it, that would be... I would swing it for that reason alone. I wouldn't care about the other part of it.
Yeah, but it also leaves more room for swing and miss error at the edge of the zone.
Yeah, let's get a full year of testing in the MLB done before we really say, because it probably affects how you protect the plate in a 2-strike count too.
Yeah, I mean it'll be interesting to see, because I mean, like I said, it's not the wand, it's the magician swinging it. So it's gonna be interesting to see kind of at the end of the year the guys that use the torpedo bat, like what numbers are different by the end of the year, if they change at all, you know.
Again, after the Yankees had all those home runs, I think the next 2 games they had 30 strikeouts. So,
and part of that's just baseball. I mean, like if you go back, and I mean, I haven't gone back and really looked at that game, but I talked with some people that have, and they're like, you go look and see where most of the pitches were left over the plate. They were left right over the heart, middle of the plate. You throw baseballs there, they're bound to get hit hard.
Well, Judge hit 2 home runs out of that onslaught, and he wasn't using the torpedo bat. So right there's your example.
And he won't use it.
No, because he's always going to be in the running until his prime of his career starts going downhill. He's always going to be in the running, or potentially in the running for an MVP and the home run leader in the AL. So why would you pick up a bat like that and create a fuss when what you were doing before works just fine? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That dude doesn't need an extra 3 miles an hour on his exit velo or an extra 4 feet on his home runs.
No. No.
Because when he's hitting them into the third deck, so it don't matter.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's too late. You already messed up.
Yeah.
You can give him a broomstick and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Well, I noticed you have a couple guys, pitchers, Lauder, Diaz, Abbott, on the IL or whatever it's called these days. And I know you finished out the season rehabbing in Arizona last year. When you have folks like that on the IL, are each one of them, their rehab, where they're rehabbing tailored to what issue they're addressing, or are some of those guys rehabbing in Cincinnati and then going out and pitching their minor league games wherever they have to go? How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends on where you're at in the rehab process. I mean, if you're throwing to where you can pitch in lives and stuff, and you can sit there and throw bullpens without issue, I mean, typically they'll keep you with the team. So that way, I mean, it helps so DJ can have his hands on you to work with you. It helps where the training staff can kind of see your progressions and stuff like that. But if you're kind of like Rhett Lauder, he started getting on the mound, what was it, last week? Middle of last week, something like that.
According to the papers, yes.
Yeah, so if it's something like that, I mean, he's just now getting on the mound, so there really wouldn't be a reason for him to be with us in Cincinnati when he can be in Arizona and still doing his full rehab program and being able to stay on top of it and get the stuff done to get him healthier and stronger, quicker, versus being here and kind of being in the way of guys on the team and stuff like that. Because, I mean, guys in rehab, they're having to get here to the field 2 hours before we do, just so they can get all their stuff in and get done and then be out of the way for the guys in game. So it just kind of depends on how many guys are in Cincinnati that are on the IL, like just in case if it's like a small calf tweak, hamstring tweak, or like a muscle strain or something, to where they're going to only miss 5-10 games. It's different for those guys, but the guys that are going to still be out for a couple months, they'll probably keep you out in Arizona just so that way you can make sure everybody's getting the stuff in that they need and getting the work done.
Yeah, and they're heat training you so that when you come into season, you're ready for that heat. Because that's all you complained about last year was how hot it was out there.
That's a different heat. I don't care what anybody says. When it gets above 100 degrees in there, go put your oven on 450 and stick your head right at the door and open it, and that's what it feels like when you walk outside.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, man. All right, so he mentioned Lauder and Abbott. I got a question for you, just out of curiosity. Just hit me. So How many starting pitchers, and you don't have to name names and you can deny the question if you want, but how many starting pitchers do you think the Reds have right now? Let's just assume everyone was healthy, that the Reds have right now that are big league ready or will be big league ready this year, and that would include you and Martinez, because Martinez is also technically a swingman even though he's a starter right now. So how many starting pitchers do you think fall into that category, assuming they're all healthy?
Like that could pitch for us this year?
Yeah.
I mean, you got R5 right now. You got Abbott coming back. You got Rhett working his way back. You got Wade Miley, who's coming back. You got Chase Petty down in AAA, knocking at the door. And I mean, if they wanted to extend me back out, I could be considered one. But I mean, I don't really see that happening.
I was just curious.
There's 4 guys. I mean, so we have nine guys that could start in the big leagues.
That's what I told.
Plus there's some other guys that, I mean, if they get going good between AA and AAA, that they could potentially fill the spot if we needed them to.
That's what I told someone the other day. I was like, all things considered, if like you considered stretching Graham back out, everyone was healthy, and the guys in the minors that could be promoted this year, I was like, dude, I think we got enough starting pitchers to fill up 2 rotations.
Yeah.
That's a lot of starting pitchers.
So speaking of pitching, I think you could say this about both the starting pitching and the bullpen. I mean, it's been very strong. The ERA will speak to that. Is there any specific reason why the pitching has started out so strong this year? Anything different from that you noticed in off-season spring training that pitchers did, or the coaches encouraged, or?
I mean, no. I mean, I definitely feel like this spring training, everybody came in a lot better shape. I mean, I feel like there was a lot of guys that came in and lost bad weight and put good weight on. A lot of guys that got after in the off season to get stronger and get healthier for the longevity of the season. I mean, I feel like, I mean, it started in spring training. I mean, I feel like we had a lot of guys come in throwing strikes early. I mean, filling the zone up, getting quick outs. I mean, it just kind of just feel like that's just how it's kind of been for us so far, just going out and commanding the zone and just getting ahead, forcing guys to swing at our pitches that we want them to swing at and put the ball in play when we want, where we want, and just having good quality pitches and making good quality pitches. And I mean, it helps that we have one of the fastest infields behind us to get to a lot of those plays. I mean, we're getting a lot of soft contact that's leading to some balls in the hole that we're having some guys get to and making some spectacular plays. And I feel like that's helping us too, on top of going out and making the pitches that we need to make.
Well, that's interesting you would say that. When I was in college, the university I attended had a very strong baseball program. And I knew the coach. I would talk to the coach from time to time, and one of his philosophies was defensively being strong up the middle. Does that, as a pitcher, give you more confidence when your core, your shortstop, your second baseman, your center fielder are strong gloves defensively?
Oh yeah, I mean it just kind of gives you aspect when you get on the mound of just like, all right, look, I'm gonna throw strikes and I'm gonna make you chase when I need to, but I'm also not afraid to let you put the ball in play early. So if you're gonna sit there and swing the bat, I'm gonna throw something that's gonna make you want to swing the bat, so these guys can get the ball behind me. I mean, it's one of the main things. Like, I mean, I don't know if you can go back and look at the past 3 years when I pitch, but I was always getting off the mound to try to get the ball. Whether it was back at me, I was trying to let it either knock it down or I was trying to make a play. But now, I mean, knowing the guys that I have behind me and how fast they are, I'm doing everything I can to get out of the way of the ball because I don't want to sit there and mess a double play up. I mean, I don't want to sit there and try to reach for a ball or throw my glove up at a ball that's bouncing over my head. And next thing you know, it hits me and shoots over Ellie or Matt that's standing behind me at second base because they were shifted when I could just let the ball go through and get a double play like just like that. I mean,
They can even field it when it's bouncing off of second base.
yeah, I know. That one scared me last night.
Got a double play out of it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, yeah,
It worked in the end.
yeah.
It's the end result.
Well, it helps Ellie's 6'6", so there's not too much that should bounce over his head.
Yeah, and throws 110 miles an hour across the diamond.
Effortlessly.
Yeah.
At least he makes it look like that. That little underhanded. Let me ask you that. Those guys throwing all those crazy arm angles from like shortstop and stuff like that, how does that not mess with their elbows and shoulders more? I mean, technically, if you think about the art of throwing or the form of throwing a baseball, that's a function the human body was not designed to do. So I guess throwing it down low could help.
I mean, you hear about guys having issues and stuff at times, but I mean, they're not max effort every single time they throw a baseball, you know? I mean, Ellie maybe has to zip 2 across the diamond as hard as he can a game. Like, other than that, guys roll over a ground ball, they just put their head down and start jogging. They're not tearing down the line. So, I mean, I feel like it's just less amount of times that they have to throw. I mean, I can't really tell you.
Yeah, because a lot of you pitchers just underhand it.
Well, have you seen the way they throw it to first overhand?
We'll just say John Lester. Man, that dude couldn't catch a break throwing to first base. Poor guy. I saw one. Andrew had one last year. He threw it to first. It was still an out, but like you could tell like by the look on his face afterwards, he's like, "Ooh, that was close."
Well, it was like yesterday. Lodolo had a bunt that he went and filled and threw it, and he said when he threw it, he went, "Oh," because he thought he sailed it. I was like, "Brother, when you threw it, I thought that thing was gone too. It's all right."
Yeah. Well, that's not. You're used to throwing off the mound. You're not used to flat ground and throwing, to first like that.
Yeah.
How tall is he? 6'6", 6'4"?
He's like 6'5", 6'7", somewhere in there.
Because they had that play in the infield yesterday where he had to cover first. Man, it does not look easy getting from the mound to first base, even though it's a short distance, but doing it quickly with that long of a frame. Especially when you're not a guy like Ellie who's supposed to be running and have the dynamic range. You know what I mean? I'm not ragging on Lodolo. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that can't be easy being 6'7". Like, I always imagine, like, what it's like being an NBA player. Like, how do you move quickly when you're, like, 6'5" or bigger? Those are really long strides, dude.
The hardest part is when they don't get the ball to you before you get to the bag, because then you're sitting there having to watch him throw it as you're trying to find the bag. So you're, like, reaching with your leg like while you're running and trying to catch the ball and trying to hit the bag. It's a lot easier when you're running. They pitch it to you and then you can look for the bag and tag it.
Exactly. Yep. Same thing the broadcast team said last night. Oh, they should have thrown it a step earlier to him.
Yep.
Is what it is. He got out of the inning.
Oh, yeah.
I got another league-wide question. I saw something about this. Someone mentioned it yesterday or the day before. The Oakland A's playing in a minor league park when that stadium's just sitting there vacant. What's your thoughts on that? Like, if you're going to play the A's and you got to play in the AAA stadium, which they got a nice stadium, right? But it's not built for the same capacity of fans, etc.
I mean, that stadium's probably going to hold the right amount of fans, is all I can say.
Well, let's be honest. Unless you're like the Yankees, the Red Sox, or someone like that, like one of the major markets, you're not filling up the stadium every night. It's not happening.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, it's hard for me to say because I'm not playing there every day. I'm not having to do that every day. I mean, and I don't know. It's just weird. I mean, to think like they're playing in a AAA stadium, but it's also like Tampa's playing in a spring training facility. Like,
I was going to say, let's flip that. Would you rather be playing a team in a smaller complex where it looks like it's more full than just watching on TV earlier this week in Cincinnati? There were 1 or 2 nights. It didn't look like there were many people in the stands.
We've also gotten 26 inches of rain this week, but
I get that.
it was also 20-mile-an-hour winds and 35 degrees.
100%. I get
but
there
the concept stands.
Well, not only was it weather, but it's always been my understanding in Cincinnati, early in the season during the school year, they don't do as well because kids have school and other activities, yada, yada, yada. So it's not unexpected on a night like that where it's really cold, it's windy, it's wet. But the question remains, would you rather be playing in a bigger park that has, say, 6,000 to 8,000, or in a smaller park that looks fuller because it has 6,000 to 8,000? Or does it even matter?
I'd rather play in a big league stadium. I mean,
Right.
there's just no comparison. I mean, and I'm sure they got that stadium for the A's perfect. I'm sure they went and put new grass in, redid the dirt, all the main things. But there's just something about playing in a big league stadium. I mean, you can be out there playing a scrimmage, and you want to play harder just because you're in the big league stadium versus playing at the spring training complex. It's just one of those things. And I mean, they got to do what they got to do to get their games in, and it's better that than them to have to play on the road for 162 games for a whole season.
I think part of it, like, obviously we'll call it the amenities when you're talking about the grass and the dirt and everything. But I think part of it, playing in a big league stadium, I bet your perception, like, because when you're out there playing, you're tuning out the fans. I mean, yeah, they're making noise, but you still have that perception of the stadium, like, towering over you guys as compared to a minor league park. I bet that would have to do a lot with it and in what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, and it's hard to say because I haven't had to play the A's at the place that they're at, so it'll be interesting. I'm pretty sure we go there this year. So
Well, one plus with your spring training facility is they do have Skyline Chili.
Yeah, but it takes 26 hours in line to get 2 cheese conies. I mean, I was there. I live in Florida. I had to get my Skyline fixed. If it's available, I'm going to grab it.
I had my Skyline fixed before season kicked off.
We'll get it here in another weekend or 2.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, that's what you're going to have to do. Hayes is the new guy. You're going to have to make him eat Skyline the night before.
I don't know.
And Steve-O. I don't know if Steve-O's tried it yet.
Ooh, yep. I'm going to tell Steve-O if he wants those mangoes, he's going to have to eat Skyline.
Something to be said for Skyline.
Well, you know what? Since we did the video with you eating Skyline during deer season, go ahead and tell the people what's your honest opinion.
It's better than what you expect. I will say I had it on a coney, and I had it with what is it all the way? Is that with mustard and onions?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and with the hot sauce. Got to have the hot sauce on it.
Yep.
But it was good. I'm not gonna lie. It was better than I was anticipating it to be.
Your wife thought you were delusional, but she probably thinks that on a regular basis anyways.
Yeah, that's just par for course.
Now, have you had it with spaghetti yet?
No.
Mm.
All right,
I don't know if that'll happen. You got me to try the coney. That might be as far as I'm getting.
But you were pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, but
Uh-huh.
What about a Cholito?
Baby steps.
Cholito's a baby step. It's a tortilla with chili and cheese inside.
Speaking of baby steps, there you go. We need to get Sophia on Skyline Chili as early as possible so she's more open-minded than the rest of you.
Yeah.
She'll be a
That's
kid.
baby
She'll
step.
eat dirt. She'll eat dirt. I mean, she'll eat anything.
My 6-year-old will eat it for breakfast at this point. She actually does. She gets a bunch while we're there, eats it, takes some leftovers, eats some for dinner, then wakes up the next morning and asks for it for breakfast.
It's that or get it.
Yeah, they love Geta too.
I'd take the Get over Skyline any day.
Geta's good. It's good. It's
I
just
love a
unfortunate
good-
that Glears doesn't process deer anymore. That's sad.
It is.
They had some really good brats and stuff. And the best part about it, they had the locker where you could drop the deer off at night. They had a combination lock on a walk-in box and a phone number on it, and they had someone ready to answer their cell phone. You'd call them, they'd give you the combination. You just drop your deer in there, fill the tag out in the paperwork, put it in the thing, close it up, and go away. You could go in at 1 a.m. and do it. It was great.
Those are always the best ones. We had one like that back home.
There are fewer and fewer deer processors. Hard to come by.
They better not go extinct because I can do it myself, but I ain't got the time for that.
Making summer sausage by yourself would be tough.
We've done it.
I know, it's a process.
Yeah. You need like a team of people.
Yeah.
And if not done right, the oven is the one that pays the price.
I don't remember, but I'm guessing we learned from experience.
No, there was grease everywhere.
Shoot. All right, cool. I think we're good, boys. Well, we don't need to do rapid fire questions with you. But you know what? Yeah. Okay. So real quick, I did have this idea. It's probably a stupid idea. It's one of my 6 billion stupid ideas that we'll stick over in this can, and then the little tiny thing has actually a couple of good ideas. One of these times we need to have you on, and you get to ask us baseball questions, and you get to tell us how right or wrong we are. Like, wouldn't that be funny to let the players ask fans questions about baseball and be like, next.
No. That's
It might be terrible publicity for the team, but it would be freaking hilarious.
no. We talk baseball with him because that's what he does as a profession. So he would have to ask us questions about our professions.
Well, we kind of we already do that all the time.
And talked about mine.
All right, well, let's hear it. What do you got, Mr. I Travel the World?
Hey, Bob, be quiet.
Do you need to learn how to count? You call Big Papa.
How many countries do you cover in a year?
Oh boy. Been to Mexico, Canada, and the U.S. Been to the UK, Germany, Belgium, the Netherlands, Italy, Norway, Sweden.
We'll just say Europe's a country at this point.
Well, if you stop to think about it, I mean, everybody, you have different countries, but it's not a whole lot different than the U.S. and different states.
Except for the language difference.
That is a problem. But you'd be surprised the number of folks that can speak rather fluent English. Pleasantly surprised, because I'm not bringing any foreign languages to the table. How about the two of you?
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, Spain. I left down Spain.
So that's how many, like 15?
Switzerland.
What's your air mile time each year? That would be an interesting one.
Time?
Yeah, how much time are you in the air?
How many days a
each
year are you losing on an airplane?
Well, that was funny you say that because the other day we were headed to Germany and the flight attendant comes back and asks if I'm Mr. Stone. And of course I am. She knows my seat number. And she, well, we'd like to thank you for being a million miler. And the guy across the aisle says, "You're a million miler. That's impressive." And I'm like, "You think so?" He's like, "Yeah, I want to be a million miler. I'm flying all over the world this year." And I'm like, no. I said, I was a million miler by 2014 and never left the U.S. And then his eyes got really big. He's like, "That's a lot of flights." I'm like, "Yeah."
I don't know. This last flight, when we were flying out with them tornadoes coming in.
Did your butthole pucker up a little bit?
Oh, I grabbed the head of the seat in front of me quite a couple times. And it didn't help Trevino was over there. He's like, "You ever seen a plane's wings bend while they're flying?" I have. Get ready.